Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Dom.
And we are Tom and Dom Travel.
We recently took a cruise on Sky Princess for 14 nights and we sailed out of Southampton. We visited a number of ports in France, Portugal and Spain. Welcome to day 8 in the wonderful port of Gibraltar.
It's very exciting.
Thank you to all our viewers and new subscribers. We really appreciate it. And if you could, give us a little like and make sure you press that subscribe button.
If you haven't already.
Absolutely.
Okay, so day 8, Gibraltar. We started off very quickly. We got up very early, didn't we? Because we knew exactly what we wanted to do today. And we headed straight to the buffet for breakfast. Now, this was a whistle-stop tour of the buffet. We probably were in there a maximum of 15 minutes, really.
Yeah, we were both really eager. Neither of us have ever been to Gibraltar. I was looking so forward to Gibraltar. So we both, it was really quick breakfast. We did have a quick peek of Gibraltar from deck 17 on the wonderful Sky Princess, and it looked magnificent.
Wasn't it fantastic? So I think that made us even more excited to get off. So off we headed straight away, got off the ship on deck 5 and straight onto the port.
So the port is relatively small. There's a little duty-free shop selling all those tobacco and spirits that Gibraltar is famed for.
Yes, I'm sure everyone was there excited to do their duty-free shopping, especially if you're Brits. Excited to do duty-free shopping in Gibraltar. So as we left the port, we noticed there were, again, as in many other ports, lots of taxis, lots of tour operators offering all very similar things. But we had done our research once again and we knew that we wanted to walk through Gibraltar.
Yeah, towards the cable car.
Yeah.
The private tours that are available just outside of the terminal in Gibraltar, there's no need to book or organise anything in advance. There are plenty there and they are all looking for tourists to take up to the rock.
Yeah, and they charge roughly about £30 to £40 per person. If you are a couple, they do ask you to share with 2 or 3 other couples as well, so they fit you all into a taxi. And it's quite an enjoyable journey from what I've heard, straight up the rock. So off we went for a walk through Gibraltar. So we pretty much made our way into the main town of Gibraltar, passing the Morrison's store. Again, if you're Brit, quite exciting to see. For everyone else, probably couldn't care less. But you can get all your British shopping in Gibraltar. So if you did need anything, like we did, we popped in for an extra bottle of sun cream and headed then through the town to the cable car.
From the terminal, it took us around 35-40 minutes to walk to the cable car. It was a really nice walk. It was a beautiful day in Gibraltar and it was just nice to have a look at Gibraltar town centre and all the different shops because it's all, even though it's located on the south of Spain, it is very British yet very Spanish.
So some of the highlights that Dom enjoyed was M&S, Matalan.
All the British stores are available in Gibraltar. It was really good.
Okay, first of all, it's worth noting that if you do have mobility issues, it is a flat walk, but it is quite a lengthy walk, so we probably would advise either using a bus or one of the taxis we mentioned earlier. Okay, so on our walk we headed through through Gibraltar and then off to...
We passed Trafalgar Cemetery.
Past Trafalgar Cemetery, yes.
And the Southport gates, which were absolutely spectacular.
Okay, so when we arrived at the cable car, we headed straight to the ticket desk.
Which we were really excited about because we thought, oh, it might be busy and we might have to queue, but we walked straight up to the ticket desk.
We did, yeah, straight away. So, yeah, straight to the ticket desk, purchased our tickets for the cable car and our wristbands for the nature reserve. The total cost was about £30 each, maybe slightly more.
Yeah,
for both of us, and that included all the sites on the rock and the cable car. We then joined a small queue, well, what we thought was a small queue, waiting to board the cable car.
even though the queue was relatively small and we managed to get our tickets straight away, we were still waiting for around about 45 minutes before we got onto the cable car.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wait, and the building itself is not the best building to be hanging about, and it's quite cramped.
And it was very hot.
Very hot, yeah. So bear that in mind when you're waiting for the cable car.
The reason we had to wait so long was because the pre-booked tour groups, they allow them to use the cable cars before just walk-on passengers and tourists.
Yes, so they were coming in through another entrance, which we didn't see at first, and boarding straight onto the cable car, so it did mean we have a bit of a wait. And bearing in mind that wait of about 45 minutes when, as we said, the queue was short. Once boarding the cable car, the journey took us around 8 minutes. It was a really spectacular journey as we headed higher and higher till we reached the top of the rock. It's worth noting that the cable cars can get very busy and can get very cramped, so it is quite hot on board and you are standing very close to people. As we reached the top of the rock, the cable car doors open and we were greeted straight away with the sight of those famous monkeys. Yes, the apes on Gibraltar Rock are everywhere.
Everywhere. The cable car drops you off right at the top, and there's a large visitor centre as well as cafe and restaurant.
Yes, so we took the first few minutes as we got on board to enjoy the views. We headed to a viewing platform where we took a few pictures of us posing in front of the rock, enjoying our time there.
Yes, spectacular views from that viewpoint on the top of the rock.
Yes, you can see all directions over the Strait of Gibraltar from there, so beautiful, beautiful views. After we'd finished admiring the views, we did something that we're now both famous for and headed for what?
Coffee.
A coffee.
So we went into the top of the rock cafe.
Yes.
And sat down. Beautiful little area.
Beautiful.
Full-size panoramic windows all the way around. Some really spectacular views inside the cafe as well.
Really, really nice place to sit. So we ordered a coffee each and sat there for about 20 minutes enjoying again those spectacular views.
After our coffee, we decided to make our way into the nature reserve. In order to get inside, we had to scan a QR code that was on our wristbands.
Yeah, there is a gate that you have to pass through, so you must scan that QR code to be able to get back and forward from the cable car area of the top of the rock into the nature reserve area. We then started our journey uphill, where straight away we came across some more of those monkeys.
So neither of us have seen monkeys in the wild like that before, so we stood and took a few photos and just watched them.
Yes.
The word of warning.
Definitely a word of warning. These monkeys are very used to being around people. They know exactly what they're doing and they will look for food, look for items that they can take from you. We've got a photo that you can see here of where one of the monkeys had taken a jumper from one of the ladies who were walking in front of us, and that jumper will never be seen again.
No. Just make sure that your belongings are all secure, because the monkeys will just grab them and run.
Yeah.
They'll also go inside your pockets, so be very, very careful. And they do love a mobile phone. So yeah,
keep hold of it. Yes, so we once again, like we did in Lisbon a few days ago, we did that little tip where we turned our backpack around and we wore it on the front so we could keep an eye on what was going on at all times.
Yeah, they're definitely not afraid of us.
No.
We're afraid of them.
Yeah, we were quite scared.
As we continued walking through past the monkey feeding areas, we arrived at the SKYWALK of Gibraltar.
Yeah, so this skywalk's a relatively new feature at the top of the rock, and it is fantastic. It is a glass floored area where you can walk out onto this glass floor, and it is spectacular.
Yeah, you can sort of look down and see the rocks, and really, really nice area.
Yeah. But it's nice for us. If you're scared of heights,
Yeah.
avoid. So after the skywalk viewing area, we decided to take the path that is more rugged and head up past some of the World War II bunkers and rooms. We explored some of these rooms. Well, I did, you didn't. They were actually quite interesting to see, but there's not much in there now. It's just the empty remnants of the rooms.
One of the places we really wanted to look at while we were on top of the rock was St Michael's Cave. Now, it's worth noting that the rock and the roads and the paths are quite steep and can be quite narrow.
Yeah, so as you would expect, there is a lot of steep areas, but also on some of these roads you're fighting against the taxis, people on bikes, as well as the monkeys. So there's lots of things to be aware of.
We made our way down to St Michael's Cave, and once we arrived there, there's a small sort of tourist information centre, as well as a cafe and a shop, and also public toilets.
So to get into St Michael's Cave, we had to scan those wristbands once again with the QR code on, and it's a short walk to the entrance of the cave from the visitor centre. So the caves are made up of limestone rock. Please be aware here because they are very slippy, very dark, and we did actually see somebody have an accident whilst they were in the cave.
Within St Michael's Cave, there are some absolutely spectacular rock formations, and one in particular, the Angel, is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's lit up really well, so there's light projections going on throughout the cave that highlight some of the main focal points within it. The cave has been known for thousands of years and features through many different parts of history, and at one point the cave was actually thought to be bottomless. As you head down further and further and further, you can see some of these pools in the cave, and they are spectacular. The cave is made up of several sections. The final section is known as the cathedral.
Within the cathedral cave, there's an auditorium now with a light display that depicts the history of the rock formation. Really, really interesting. It's only a short sort of presentation, maybe 7 minutes long, but there are plenty of seats to just sit back and watch. It is truly spectacular.
It is set up in an auditorium formation, so plenty of options for seating, and there also is a lift for disability access.
After leaving St Michael's Cave, you come back into the main tourist information centre and shop. So we had a quick look round, and then
we headed on a different path this time back towards the cable car. So this path is far easier to walk on, although still steep again. Yeah. And it took us about another 20-minute walk probably to head back towards the cable car entrance. On our walk back to the cable car, we did actually witness a monkey that jumped straight onto a poor lady's head. So please be aware that it can happen at any time, and this lady was not happy at all.
Yeah, just be mindful when walking under trees.
Yeah, so we had a few experiences with these monkeys. Another one was when we reached the cable car to get back on to head down the mountain, down the rock, sorry. A monkey was at the entrance to the cable car and wouldn't let anybody in. There was actually a few people there screaming because the monkey was chasing them off.
Fortunately, the cable car operator shooed them away and we managed to get back onto the cable car.
Yeah.
Again, during the descent, 8 minutes, beautiful, spectacular views. We were quite fortunate on the way down because there wasn't that many people in the cable car
as
with
put
us.
off by the monkeys. Yeah, there were a few of us and we had spectacular views of the ship as well in port. Once we reached the bottom of the cable car, we decided to head back into the main town. We walked through the town for a little while, popping into a couple of the shops. We headed into M&S and we discovered that prices were perhaps a little bit more expensive. So that was a surprise to us, as most things in Gibraltar are known for being cheaper.
Yeah, so as we'd been off the ship for a good few hours, both myself and Tom were a little bit hungry. So we managed to come across a small little tapas bar in a quiet square just off the main street.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
We both had Tinto Verano because the sun was shining and it was
refreshing, wasn't it?
Definitely quench our thirst. And we had a couple of tapases.
Yeah, lovely little tapases. So it was nice just to have a little snack.
A couple of chicken skewers and some ham and cheese croquettes, which were beautiful.
Beautiful. So we knew that Princess did a special offer on board actually in their duty-free shops where they price match their prices in port. So we took some time and had a walk around a couple of the duty-free shops.
Your Princess will price match. All you need to do is show them the photo and make your way down to the celebration shop on deck 5, just off the piazza. Show them the photo and they will price match your goods.
We continued to walk through Gibraltar, where we came across lots of busy bars, shops, cafes, some of the names that you would recognise at home, and lots of independent traders as well. So please choose which one you prefer. And from there we continued towards the port. Now this is walkable, but it does take, I'd say, about 20 minutes to walk from the main shopping area back to the port.
Gibraltar has got a really good public transport system, in particularly their bus network. So, strongly recommend that you just pop on the bus. Yeah,
we did notice quite a few buses going past, didn't we? So it's not an option we took, but we saw that it was available. Okay, so had been a long day in Gibraltar. We were there from about 9 till 5, so very long day for us in port. So we headed straight back onto the ship, back to our room, very quickly got changed and headed back out onto deck for sail away party.
Not any sail away party.
No.
Great British sail away party.
Yes, so some people had flags, some people had dressed up. So it was quite an event. It was
really, really good, really enjoyable. We grabbed a drink at the pool bar and then made our way to the back of the ship so that we could watch us sail away from Gibraltar in style.
Yes, it was beautiful again, wasn't it? As the sun was coming down as well, so it really brought out the colours on the rock.
After getting some photos of our sail away from the aft of the ship and around the Wakeview pool and bar, we then decided to join the rest of the Great British Sail Away on the main Lido deck, where the cruise director and DJ Ron were entertaining us.
Yes, it was nice, really party atmosphere on deck, so really enjoyed that.
Yeah, very busy, lots of people just dancing, taking part and basically enjoying the spectacular sail away from Gibraltar.
As we did.
We did. During the sail away, Ocean Boulevard were also playing again, and once again they were fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually really nice, and we prefer it when there's live music on the pool deck rather than, as we've mentioned in our previous videos, pre-recorded concerts being played.
After the Great British Sail Away, we decided to make our way down, as it was 7 o'clock, to the Soleil dining room for our evening meal.
Yeah.
To start, I had the watermelon with mascarpone cream, and it was absolutely beautiful.
And I once again had the soup.
For the main, I had the Austrian speciality, which was beef sirloin, braised beef sirloin, which was absolutely beautiful, and red cabbage with it. It was absolutely stunning.
And I had the chicken, and once again that was wonderful as well.
However, the stars of the show this evening were definitely the desserts.
Yeah, wonderful desserts. I had a crusty banana tart with hazelnut streusel.
And I had the Cherries Jubilee, which was absolutely fantastic. Now, I love cherries, and this was beautiful.
Okay, so after a wonderful meal once again and that spectacular dessert, we headed to the Princess Theatre.
Tonight was the wonderful Ollie Mulkeen, a trumpeter.
Yeah, he was really enjoyable actually, wasn't he? So some great tunes, some really party atmosphere. We very much enjoyed.
Very energetic.
As our usual routine, after the show in the Princess Theatre, we dashed across the ship and headed to Princess Live. As we left Princess Live, we decided, because it was such a lovely evening, to head out onto deck for a walk.
It was a beautiful night. The sea was so calm and the moon was shining. It really was a beautiful, beautiful evening.
Yeah. We were ready for another drink after our walk. Surprise, surprise. So we headed this time to VISTA.
With DJ Ron throwing a few tunes.
Yeah, definitely. So, and there was a couple of groups of people in there that were definitely enjoying themselves. And at one point, unfortunately, me, got dragged up for a little dance.
And he loved every single minute of it.
But it was enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable.
After a few drinks and a little bit of dancing in Vista Lounge, it was time for us to get something to eat and head to bed. So we went down to the International Cafe and had some beautiful ham and cheese croissants.
Surprise, surprise.
And decaf coffee.
Yes, as usual. And we headed straight up to the room and pretty much straight to sleep.
We were very proud of ourselves today, weren't we?
Very, very proud, because guess what we did not have today? Have you noticed? Have you noticed?
No cheesy chips today.
Not one portion all day.
No,
so
we were very, very good.
We must have lost at least a couple of pounds.
Yeah, after all the walking.
So tomorrow, where are we heading?
Cadiz?
Yeah, the beautiful historical town of Cadiz. So why not join us tomorrow and find out what we got up to.
Thanks for watching. If you've got any comments, just pop them in the box below and we'll do our best to get back to you.
And don't forget to please like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on social media.